so many pieces all back together now. What's your vision?
Alright.
Here is an example of the spin screed in operation. You have an electric motor on the right and a T-handle on the left that is used to pull the screed along. Notice how the screed spins opposite to the direction it is being advanced, so the concrete rolls up in front of the screed, cutting off high spots and filling in low spots. In this case, the concrete on the left is formed by using a 2x10 wood form. The right side of the slab being placed is formed by an existing slab. Rather than allowing the spin screed to spin on the rough concrete surface, we have laid down a wide piece of metal banding material so that the spin screed rides on the smooth banding material rather than on the rough concrete surface. In this way, wear on the spin screed is minimized. After screeding a section of concrete with the spin screed, the screed is allowed to make a slow backward pass over the section of concrete that was just placed while it is still spinning. This slow backward pass pushes down any aggregate that may be above the surface and pulls up cement paste at the same time. Once we get to the end of the run, we turn the spin motor off. The spin screed is then pulled forward to the location of the concrete surcharge so that the screeding sequence can begin again. The section just completed has a textured surface of concrete paste. This section is then immediately bull floated. Notice how easily the bull float smooths out the textured concrete paste, leaving the aggregate just where it should be, immediately below the surface. This is an example of a 22-foot long spin screed being used to pour a driveway that is 20 feet wide by 120 feet long. The spin screed can be used on steel forms, wood forms, or screed pipes. The spin screed always spins opposite to the direction it is being advanced, allowing you to relax your grip on the spin screed and go back over any section of concrete you have just screeded to produce an even flatter concrete surface. Here is an example of the spin screed being used to pour 2 basement floors of attached residential construction. In this example, nearly 60 yards of concrete was poured in 2 hours. Note, screeding with the spin screed is so easy and quiet that a cell phone conversation is taking place while the concrete is being screeded. Here, the spin screed is running on screed pipes set on stakes. After screeding, the pipes are removed, and the area of concrete just screeded is bull floated. In this example of the spin screeded work, concrete is placed in a 2-car garage that is 22 feet deep. A 24-foot long spin screed is brought to the pour after the leading edge of the concrete has been floated by hand. Once in place, the spin screed is called into action. You may note that during the screeding process, an anchor bolt on the back wall of the foundation has to be screeded around. This is easily accomplished because of the lightweight nature of the spin screed. A 20-foot length of spin screed weighs less than 80 pounds. Compare that to the 460-pound weight of a typical 20-foot length of A-frame type vibrating screed. In this instance, because the operator of the dead end of the screed is standing on the foundation wall, it is safer and easier to use a rope quick coupling on the dead end rather than the standard T-handle. In this example, a concrete pad for a playground area measuring 60 feet by 120 feet is being poured. The pour is laid off in 60-foot long strips using screed pipes set 18 feet apart. The spin screed runs on the screed pipes, which are moved along as the pour progresses. Notice the dead-end operator of the spin screed is using a rope-quick coupling that allows him to stay out of the area that was just screeded and out of the way of the rakers while still doing his job. Here, the crew placed, screeded, and bull-floated 110 yards of concrete in less than 2 hours. When finished with the pour, power trowels immediately began work on the pad. This is another tremendous labor and time-saving advantage of the spin screed. Because the spin screed does not bring excess water and paste to the surface, as does a vibrating screed, not only does the spin screed produce a stronger, more durable surface than that produced by a vibrating screed, but the finish operation can begin sooner when concrete is screeded with the spin screed. This is yet another example of the versatility of the spin screed, where a sidewalk 4 feet wide is being screeded with the spin screed. The spin screed can be converted from a 22-foot screed to a 5-foot screed in just a matter of seconds. We can supply spin screed pipe in any length, up to and including 22 feet. The spin screed is lightweight. The spin screed is quiet. The spin screed is easy and fast to clean. The spin screed can be used on steep slopes. The spin screed is inexpensive and easy to store and move. The spin screed was designed and built by a contractor with over 30 years of experience in concrete work. The spin screed has been field tested for over 5 years and is built with a screed is a very versatile tool, designed primarily for conventional concrete. However, it can also be used for steep slope paving and pervious concrete. In this video, showing steep slope paving, the slope being paved has a ratio of 1.5 units horizontal to 1 unit vertical. The concrete being used is conventional concrete, having a slump of 2 inches. The spin screed being used is 22 feet long, screeding an area 20 feet wide. A dual electric winch system is controlled by an operator stationed at the top of the incline. A manual winch system can also be used with the spin screed. After screeding the incline, the concrete surface can easily be bull-floated, producing an excellent result. The spin screed can also be
Number in there. All right, starter spinning. Oh, bring it back 6 inches, 4 inches. See what I'm doing?
Yes, I do.
Keep working it down, Dave.
The other end now.
Today I'd like to demonstrate what we call our float-fill screed support system. Anytime you're pouring a wide section of concrete, you'll often use a screed pipe to support your screed. And the screed pipe can be set in the middle of the pour, and then you screed both sides. Once you've screeded both sides, then the screed pipe has to be removed. In the case of a pipe this size, which is a fairly typical size, 2-inch outside diameter, you've got a large void area that you have to fill in. The float-fill screed support system reduces that void area, makes it about 1/6, just a very small fraction of what it was. Here's what our screed support system looks like. Instead of a pipe, it's a flat piece of steel that measures about 1/4 inch wide, 1 3/4 inches tall. And to hold that in place, we use what we call the U-bends like this. And this is something we make at our factory, our float-fill screed support system factory. You will need a piece of thin wall conduit, and you cut it to length. You get this thin wall conduit. It's very inexpensive. You buy it at Home Depot or some electrical supplier. You drive this into the ground using what we call our drive tool. Drive that in, use a sledge to drive it into the ground, get it to the appropriate grade. Once that's done, then you take this tool right here, which we call the U-bend applicator tool. Set your U-bend in that. This will already be driven in the ground. You push that into there till you hit a stop, and then your U-bend is set at the appropriate positioning for the steel bar that you move into position. This is in a position now. Long piece, you can buy it any length you want to, up to 20 feet or so at your local steel supplier. It's 1/8 by 1 3/4, works great for the spin screed. If you happen to use a heavy Morrison type or some other type of A-frame vibrating screed, you can use a wider piece of steel with the same U-bends. It doesn't matter. Narrow, you can rotate that a little bit if you like, but it doesn't seem to matter. It can be like this, and it'll work fine. So, very simple system. It uses things off the shelf, metal conduits off the shelf, This piece of bar steel is off the shelf, and then these U-pins can simply be purchased from us. And the installation tool, of course, and the driver tool are all available from us.